3 weeks in, and the excitement of a fresh start begins to wear thin. In episode 3, I face frustration, self doubt, and the struggle of finding my place in a new country. But even in tough times, there's always hope. Join me as I share my feelings with a kind neighbor, get career advice at the library, and hear about a potential job opportunity from a surprising source. I am Hakim, a young Moroccan man who lives alone in the United States of America, and this is the third chapter of my journey. If you missed the earlier episodes, find the links in the description below or the cards above. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with me as I navigate life beyond borders, beyond words. Let's learn English together.
Hey there. Mind if I sit here?
Oh, sure. It's a public bench, after all.
Thanks. You look like you could use some company. I'm Merritt, by the way. I live in the studio across the hall from yours. You're Hakim, right?
Yes, that's me. Nice to meet you, Merritt. Sorry if I've been a bit quiet since moving in.
No need to apologize. Moving to a new place is always overwhelming, especially when it's a whole new country. I've been there. Well, not Morocco, but you get the idea.
You're right. It's been a lot. How did you know I'm from Morocco?
Oh, I overheard you chatting with the landlord when you first arrived. Plus, your accent is kind of a giveaway, in a good way.
Thanks, I think. So, where are you from originally?
I'm from Chicago, but I moved here about 5 years ago. New start and all that. Speaking of starts, how are you settling in?
It's complicated. I thought moving here would be this amazing adventure, full of opportunities. And it is, but there are moments I feel like I'm in over my head.
I get that. New places can feel huge and isolating, even if you're surrounded by people. What's been the hardest part?
Everything feels so different. The culture, the way people interact, even simple things like buying groceries. Back home, I knew how everything worked. Here, I feel like a child learning to walk again.
That's normal, Hakim. Honestly, when I moved here, I couldn't figure out the bus schedule for weeks. I'd always end up on the wrong side of town.
At least you could laugh about it. I've been so focused on trying to adapt that I've forgotten how to enjoy the experience. Every day feels like a challenge I'm barely surviving.
It sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. You've only been here for a few weeks, right?
3 weeks. It feels much longer. I keep thinking, what if I made a mistake?
Hakim, moving abroad is one of the hardest things a person can do. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, but you're here for a reason, right? Something big enough to take that leap?
I wanted to build a better future for myself, to challenge myself. But now that I'm here, the uncertainty is terrifying.
I hear you. When I moved here, I was running away from something, but what I found was the chance to grow into the person I'd always wanted to be. Change is scary, but it's also where the magic happens.
You make it sound so simple.
Not simple, but worth it. You've already done the hardest part, taking the first step. Now it's about giving yourself time to adjust. Trust me, one day you'll look back at this moment and realize how far you've come.
I hope you're right. It's hard to see that right now. Everything just feels heavy.
That's why you've got neighbors like me. I'm always around if you need someone to talk to or if you want tips on navigating this place.
Thank you, Merritt. That means a lot. Maybe I'll take you up on that offer sometime.
Anytime. Oh, and if you're ever feeling down, there's this bakery 2 blocks from here that has the best chocolate croissants. They're life-changing.
I'll definitely check it out. Chocolate croissants sound like the therapy I need.
See? You're already finding solutions. You've got this, Hakim. Just take it one step at a time.
Thanks, Merritt. Talking to you has been refreshing.
Excuse me, do you have a moment?
Oh, yes, of course. Can I help you?
Actually, I was wondering if I could help you. I'm Laura, an employment counselor here at the library. You seemed a bit lost in thought.
Nice to meet you, Laura. I'm Hakim. And yes, you could say that. I've been searching for jobs, but it feels like I'm getting nowhere.
That's something I hear a lot. Job hunting can be overwhelming, especially if you're unfamiliar with the local market. Mind if I take a look at what you've been searching for?
Not at all. I've been applying to everything retail, hospitality, even warehouse work. But no one's called me back.
I see. First off, it's great that you're open to different kinds of work. But sometimes casting too wide a net can be counterproductive. Have you thought about focusing on roles that match your skills and experience?
I've tried, but I don't know what employers here are looking for. Back home, I worked as a project assistant. I'm good with organization, scheduling, and communication. But I don't know if that counts for much here.
That's valuable experience, Hakim. Employers here do value those skills, but you might need to highlight them differently. Have you updated your resume to emphasize your achievements?
I've made a basic resume, but I'm not sure if it's what they want.
Let's work on that together. A tailored resume that focuses on measurable results can make a huge difference. For example, instead of saying you helped with projects, you could say you managed schedules for multiple projects, ensuring on-time delivery. Specifics help employers see your value.
That makes sense. I never thought about it that way.
It's a common mistake. Now let's talk about other ways to stand out. Networking is key in this city. Have you attended any local job fairs or community events?
Not yet. I've been mostly searching online.
Online applications are a good start, but face-to-face connections can open doors that the internet can't. I can give you a list of upcoming events where you can meet employers directly.
That sounds helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And speaking of connections, have you considered taking short courses or workshops? They can help you build new skills and show employers that you're proactive about learning.
I've thought about it, but I wasn't sure where to start.
The library actually offers free workshops on resume writing, interview skills, and even basic computer skills. If you're interested, I'd recommend signing up for one. It's also a great way to meet others in the same boat.
I'll definitely check those out. Thank you for pointing me in the right direction.
Of course. And one more thing, patience is key. Finding the right job takes time, especially when you're adjusting to a new environment. But with the right strategies, you'll get there.
It's hard not to feel discouraged, but talking to you has given me hope. Thanks for taking the time to help me.
You're very welcome, Hakim. I'm here every weekday, so feel free to stop by if you have questions or just need encouragement. You've got this.
Thanks, Laura. I'll see you around.
Looking forward to it. Take care, Hakim.
Good morning. You must be Hakim, right? We've crossed paths a few times, but I've never properly introduced myself. I'm Clark, from apartment 2B.
Oh, hi. Yes, I'm Hakim. Nice to meet you, Clark. Sorry if I've been a bit distant lately. Take a seat, please.
No worries at all. Moving to a new place can be a whirlwind. How's it going so far?
It's all right, I guess. Just trying to find my footing. It's harder than I thought it would be.
I get it. This city can be a lot to take in at first, but don't let it get you down. Everyone's been there at some point. What's been the toughest part?
Honestly, trying to find work. I've applied to so many places, but it feels like I'm just sending applications into a black hole.
That's rough. The job hunt here can be brutal, especially if you're new to the area. What kind of work are you looking for?
I'm keeping my options open. Back home, I worked in project management, but here I've been applying to anything that might pay the bills. Retail, office jobs, you name it.
Makes sense. Sometimes you've got to start somewhere while you work your way up. Have you had a chance to talk to anyone in the building about it? We've got a pretty diverse bunch of folks here. Might be worth asking around.
I haven't. Actually, I've been so focused on applying online that I didn't even think to ask my neighbors.
Well, consider this your lucky day. I heard about something recently that might interest you. A friend of mine works at a local business that's looking for some extra help. It's not exactly glamorous, but it's a foot in the door.
Really? That sounds promising. What kind of business is it?
It's a small logistics company. They're looking for someone organized, reliable, and good with details. From what you've said, it seems like you'd be a great fit.
That does sound like something I could do. Do you know how I could apply?
I can get you the contact info for my friend. He's the hiring manager, so it'd give you a direct line instead of the usual online application slog. Just make sure your resume is polished and ready to go.
Thank you so much, Clark. I really appreciate it. This could be exactly the kind of lead I've been waiting for.
Happy to help. Like I said, we've all been there. And don't worry if it doesn't pan out right away. Just keep putting yourself out there. Persistence is key.